And a very special good afternoon to one and all. Wednesday it is. Thank you so very much, everyone who is tuned our way, for hanging in there and just waiting to see what is the topic of discussion today so that you can join us and benefit from what is being discussed. Always good to have you. This platform is available Monday through Friday every year, every month, every week, provided that it's not a public holiday when we usually take much needed time off just to rejuvenate ourselves, and we get right back to it after everything is over. So it's always good to have you and to know that you're there. Special good afternoon to the folks who might be following us on Facebook. We are there as well as on the live stream. That is the one that I really wanted to make mention, because there are a lot of people who live outside of St.Maarten, who are from St.Maarten, and usually use this platform to stay in touch with what is being discussed. So we just want to let you know that we appreciate the fact that you, from time to time, do join us to be up to speed with what's happening back at home, and also throughout the Caribbean region as well, folks who one way or another have connections in St. Maarten and always use this platform as well. Okay. Just a little heads up, for you to get to this platform, you just go to tvcarib.com, and the live stream would show that you can listen live. When you click on listen live, then you'll be able to see the faces behind the conversation. The same link is on my webpage, Moore, M-O-O-R-E, journal, journal.com. And there, when the banner, there's a banner right at the top when the page opens. You just click on it and you're right in on TV Carib. So you'll be able to see the live stream. And also you can do it on your handheld device, provided that you have data. With that said, and with that out of the way, I have here with me the president of the Phillipsburg Mutual Improvement Association, abbreviated PMIA. She's here with me. Her name is Gwendolyn Holiday. She's the president and also the managing director of this radio station is also on the board too as well. Hence, the service that is often been provided and out there for people. There are some players that you really should know who they are, and these are some of the persons who are at work, whether behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. So with that said, let me give a warm welcome to Madam Gwendolyn Holiday, who is here with me for the full hour. Good afternoon to you. I'm tempted to say Glenda, but I know Gwendolyn Holiday. Good afternoon to you, Miss Holiday.
Good afternoon, Wendell Moore. Thank you once more for making your space available for me as I represent the board of the PMIA. And it's always a pleasure to come and share with my fellow St.Maarteners, because I'm sure several people would pass Backstreet across from the old Photogums. I still can't get a name of the other business on the other side. And you'll see them looking up, wanting to know what that is.
Yeah.
So we've decided that we are going to come out again. Okay, we've been on the radio several times for different events, and just give a brief, summary as to what the PMIA was and what we hope to get going this year. And if you have passed Backstreet lately, you would have seen that we have made quite an investment in upgrading the frontal part of the building if it comes to accessibility.
Why do you think it's important for people to understand the significance of the building and the location, as well as the work that the PMI has been involved in? Why is it important?
As an educator, I will start in that light. I think it's important for anyone living on any country, and in this case it's St.Maarten, that you know what your establishments and what the organization stand for. The Phillipsburg Mutual Improvement Association, abbreviated PMIA, was established since 1932. I think many of us wasn't born yet. under the leadership then of Mr. L.B. Scott and his other Gaviite members. They founded the PMIA in 1932. And why it's important? It's important because it has a very strong history background, where it actually is an offshoot of the United Negro Improvement Association, an association that L.B. Scott was involved with when he was in the Dominican Republic. He actually was one of those upstart young men, they used to call him then, that participated in a lot of protest marches against the treatment of Negroes. That's the N and UNIA. Okay. So when he returned to St.Maarten in 1929, he and some of the other Gaviites, they decided they want to be part of starting an organization where his people could get an opportunity to develop in leadership, to develop in self-enrichment, and to learn especially to be self-reliant. So I think that is important for our people to know, whether you are a youngster, whether you are a youth, or whether you are an adult.
Yeah. I think also maybe a little caveat here would help. If we don't know where we're coming from and we don't know much about our past, it's very difficult for us to chart the way forward. Maybe you can. I think L.B. Scott is on several buildings throughout. Yes, so maybe a little information about who he was and maybe his relation to who, because it was so long ago, and maybe we can be enlightened on those persons who are associated one way or next.
Okay, the late Lionel Bernard Scott. Firstly, let me say he was my grandfather. He died in 1966. I remember I was 6 years old.
Oh,
because I had to walk from the house there in Bush Road up to the cul-de-sac cemetery. And he's also the father of Don Hughes, the manager or the owner, I don't know, of this radio station. And he had many, many, many children. And I think if you look up and read up on him, you will see he has many of his children. Don't look at their surnames, in terms of Holiday to Phillips to York, Richardson, Pantoflet,
offspring of
Lionel Bernard Scott. On this note here, I would also right now to say hello to my great uncle that's still alive, Mr. Richardson, the fire station manager's father. He's my great uncle up in Marigot Hill. Because when you see those people, it really lets you know that you're part of something. Your question was why.
Well, I thought you answered why it was important, but I wanted you to give a little background on Lionel Bernard Scott, because his name is, you're going to run into it one way or next, the street, the auditorium or whatever, and you would want to know, well, this man must have been very important. And you were saying that he was one of those persons who laid the foundation for such an institution as the PMIA.
And he also played an important role in the development of the Windward Islands back then and in St.Maarten. He had put a lot of emphasis on leadership. He was also politically involved. And we sometimes in the family, we are still talking about, okay, L.B. Scott, he took the reins and went, and I think Don Hughes also went ahead and was part of the PPA or something like that. And
after playing a background role
and he still plays a background role if he's here. I can really choke off that niece of mine. But Don Hughes have in have followed in his father's footsteps a lot in the sense that he's always there willing to help any young person that wants to go into leadership. L.B. Scott was a builder. He was the Methodist man's. He was also one who did the first airstrip by the Princess Juliana Airport.
He was working there, you mean?
He was part. He was part of
Okay.
the construction of that airstrip.
Okay.
And he was also, they used to call him. He had these beautiful horses.
Oh.
He was quite an eloquent, tall, black, standout man. My father got that from him. I can say that.
Well, I know your dad, so I know what he
my
was like.
brothers too, you know.
Yeah.
So basically, he was a St.Maarten, hard-working man that believes that whatever you are gifted with, you should make use of it. In some of the books I've read, you know, he always says, if you do not do something for yourself, nobody is going to do it for you. So based on that, he decided to work together with his people back then to establish the PMIA. Everybody see the building there?
Yeah.
The wall still is from that material. It's not from blocks. It's still that hard granite material. So even though we will upgrade it every now and then, paint it, etc. Because remember, most of Back Street and even over here, I think, Back Street, was water.
Yeah.
You know, so they knew how to build back then.
Yeah.
And that building there, the majority of it still consists of the structure that they put there.
I don't know if you are aware of a certain type of product that was used back in the day that cement now replaced, called lime. If that was part of when that was being built, for the reason why it stayed that long without having to
and you can't
crumple.
You can't use a hammer. It's difficult to nail anything in that building from inside.
You know, because you in the improvement of it, you know how accessible it was. Sorry, to make some changes.
Yeah, because even like, you know, every year or so you have to actually like grade it, you know.
Yeah.
Ting it off and then paint it again, because the water is still under there, folks.
Yeah.
You know, we could look around and always tell people, yes, Phillipsburg has been built up, but one thing with the sea and the pond, when they're ready, they're coming back. They come back and they take back, and we got to swim and we got to get in boats and we got to do everything. But that's nature.
You see anything coming back as far as from the pond area to as far as back? I mean, the pondville. Well,
if I see it, I think we have lived it. We have lived it. When there is a storm, we see it.
Yeah.
The water just takes back
Yeah.
space. So whether I see it or not, it is a reality.
Yeah.
I think it was 1995 or
1999, I think it was.
Yeah, and we
That
see
one.
where
When I
the
came back
pond
from
almost
Phillips,
meet.
we had to
'Cause-
wear boots on back.
Yes,
get
I
this.
remember to get to Turning Point, for instance, you had to take a boat to go to Turning Point, you know, because it was just too deep and
99.
yeah. So I'm just saying, whether I see it or not, if we don't be careful, the fact is we have water.
I didn't plan that question, but like you mentioned that, because it's true, huh? Where water once used to occupy and we fill it, there's a possible chance that the water would want to, you know, because it was always water, wetland anyhow. Yeah.
There and Bush Road also, all of those places.
So Lionel Bernard Scott established this foundation, and it seems like the family is carrying it on. Do you have anyone else involved who are not connected to the family and see the same vision or the importance of it to continue using it for the benefit of those who wish to be informed or learn about other things like the lectures that you have on an annual basis? That
The board right now consists of 5 persons and some committee members that help us with programs. And on the board, Fina Delane, she's the recording secretary. She's not a direct family, but her uncle or her father was also involved with the PMIA back then, because they live right on the next side.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? And then we also have Anne Lucinda Mate. Her mother was Polita Pantaflet from Down Street.
Okay.
And I remember when I was getting involved, the majority of the Pantaflets from Down Street used to be involved with the PMIA. We that's the core I can give you, but we are also open for the public.
Yeah.
And I'm glad for this opportunity, because people think that we own because we on the board, but it is a public building. It is a St.Maarten building. I'm going to keep saying this. And the opportunity to use it is there, as long as you can adhere to the policies and the whole different things that carries it. Because if you look at your own home, nobody can just come in and say they're doing something in your house.
Yeah.
They have to ask permission.
And you have to let them.
Yeah,
Because if you don't let them, then you're setting a standard that you rather not have it that way. One of the things about the PMI hall that often crosses people's mind, I know because it crossed my mind, they say, how is it that not yet someone have not snatched it up, offering some big rent so that they can put maybe, well, everything goes on Backstreet is tours anyway. So I've...
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, but
It's called discipline.
You got offers?
Yeah, but before I answer that, the motto of the PMIA is friendship, love, and unity, and that's engraved in the whole existence of the organization. As I said, neither you or me were there in 1932. You know, I actually got very closely involved in 1991. And at that time, when my mom, who was the president before me, the board members, and unfortunately, we are not allowed to expose anything. It's a benevolent organization. We cannot expose anything that one of our members did. But one of the things I was confronted with when I did get there was that, unfortunately, one of the members was coerced to give the building or sell the building to one of the businesses right now in St.Maarten. So it took me about 7 years to go through the courts. It was interesting though. I think I could be a lawyer by now. I'm just and we won the case. We won the case because there were things done that was not legal.
Wow.
So yes, persons do approach us that they would like to use the building. We did
use the building or buy the building?
To buy it, and after that you will hear people asking if they can rent it to put a store. No, you asked me the last time I was here, why have we ever considered putting it on the monument list? The discussions were there, but the as I told you earlier, the structure is of such, and the whole framework of the organization. What type of business would you put in there? So what we did about 2, 3, or 4 years ago, the courthouse approached us again because they needed space in terms of what was happening on a legal framework. And we did rent it to the courthouse for about 2 years. And I think that was a very good decision because it allowed us to get some money And that's why today you can see us making some upgrade because we didn't waste the money.
Yes.
Because one of the things LB Scott and his other members always taught was you have to be self-efficient and make sure that what you do or how hard they have worked. We do not owe the bank for the building, for those who are wondering. You do have to adhere to the legal laws, etc. But so with some of the money from that, we were able to upgrade the building inside and outside. And I would say again, the courts was really very cooperative with us. So in that sense, no. And even if the acts, at least I don't own my life. I don't know when it's going to end. And I always preach to all of those that are there.
Yeah.
This is one building, one facility that we have. So one of my reasons to come on here is later to talk about we are getting ready to start a membership campaign.
Okay.
By invitation, because when you come you'll see what a constitution is. We review the bylaws, etc. Because you become a member by invitation, and of course you have to agree to the association aims and objectives. So I think I've said this already. It is not the intention for anybody, whether you're related to LB Scott or not, to think about selling the PMIA.
Yeah.
I think we are more creative than that.
In fact, that's one of the questions that crosses some people's minds. It's a wonder that it has not been, some offer was not made to the point
Yes,
where
there were offers and there were inquiries.
you would give it up. But interestingly, though, is a lot of things that we are not reserving, well, whether it's for monumental use or even for leisure, for the development, an area of development of our people that is not seem to be on the radar when it comes to St.Maarten development. It's more about business. Everything is a structure for business. Hence the reason why I asked the question as to whether or not, because you're right in the heart of Back Street, and I think there's no better place for a location. You can't miss anybody. For the folks who don't know where the PMI all is, and I would want to believe that most people do know, but some people don't pay attention to small details. It's right where the main bus stop is in the heart of Phillipsburg. And that is a prime location for anyone who wants to conduct business with the mindset that not to be advertised of their services and products that they're selling, but for people to walk in because the traffic is always heavy there. And I think that is the basis of how most people conduct business these days, which is a pity, but it's to their advantage because people usually walk the streets. When someone open a business, they just open the business and that's it. Walking nowadays, what they're doing, they're putting barriers to the front of the building and getting people to woo them in, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so you have been, aside from the lectures, there are other things that you have been busy with. One here, as we, you know what, let me just take a break quickly and then we start dealing with the different areas that you are using the LB Scott's location, and then the recruitment drive that you're talking about. Let's take a break quickly and come back. Okay, welcome back to our conversation with Ms. Gwendolyn Holiday, who is the president of the Phillipsburg Mutual Improvement Association, abbreviated PMIA. The hall is situated right there on Back Street, right in the heart of Phillipsburg. And she's here talking about a little bit of background about the institution, how it came about, who were the ones involved, as well as what it's doing today. So, Miss Holiday, one of the reasons why you're here is because you wanted people to know that they can get involved with the PMI and what it's doing. Maybe you talk about promoting the social interests of the inhabitants of St. Maarten in a general sense. And I guess one of the element used to promote that is the lectures that you have on an annual basis, where you single out some key people in our community who have made certain contributions and continue to do so. So what else people should know that you are doing so that they may have some shared interests and wanting to be involved?
Again, thank you. First of all, I want to mention here that the PMIA was one of those organizations that spearheaded, among other activities, the first nation buildings programs. I don't know if anybody remember those, but we brought in some special people to talk about the importance of nation building.
Yeah.
And then it took off. That was like before 2010. And in addition to that, we also had started one of the first Award of Excellence program.
Oh.
And this Award of Excellence program was mainly for members and plus for volunteer people. Whatever you were doing, it had to be out of the volunteer spirit. We want to bring that back. It's always later in the year. And then we had and we focus it on the spirit of volunteerism. Something that I keep telling people, after some hurricane, for some reason, we start getting a bunch of offers for grants on the island. And then what started happening is that persons that were involved in those start getting a stipend, a payment for it. So the whole attitude changed and of course, economics have changed too.
Yeah.
Things are much more expensive. It's more difficult for people to volunteer, but we still, when we bring it back, is going to focus on people doing volunteer things that comes from the heart. And then we do I laughed the other day, and I would like to applaud the whole sports federations, because when my deceased brother Derek Holiday was alive, he was the vice president then. We started volleyball competitions on the beach with business places.
Yeah.
And it used to be a very good, following. So, but now we are more organized. We have a sports federation. There are other businesses and everybody. So that's good. It's not about getting credit for something, but it's good to see that where you were and where you are now. And then we also had we used to do cross-border organization, activities. We had bikeathons, walkathons.
That were organized by the
PMIA, and then we collaborated with maybe a biking organization on the French side. So those are things we would like to bring back. We know there's a lot of things going on right now, but again, I'm going to say, as an educator in this position, I believe we have to do a broad scope of development, of encouraging people. And so, but to do that, we need people. A lot of members have passed on. Some of their younger offsprings heard about it. So we are going to use this year to reach out to persons again. As a member, you would have a membership fee that you
Yeah, because one of my other questions was, how do you raise money to be able to keep it going? Because surely you just can't have it sitting there.
Okay. We raise money first by members, of course, paying their dues. And secondly, we get donations.
Okay.
And we get grants. We had a grant some years ago where we had fixed up the PMIA. And we are right now working on a grant to print the remaining books from the lectures, the series that we do every January. And we also do with we are non-governmental organization. Okay. Up to date, we are not funded by the government, and which gives you a level of independence. And because having been a government worker for so many years, the government can't do everything by themselves. But we are open for collaboration. Since back then, 1932, 1970, a lot of different organizations have started, associations, foundations. And I would like to say again, because when I get an opportunity, that we are not a closed organization. We can do things together. We can collaborate. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can work together
with other
and then
associations.
Make a budget
Yeah.
and see how we do it, because the building has to be sustained. So I would like to put an open invitation to any organization out there that has a program and would like to work with us. We have the inside building, we have the yard. We have just hung up a event board where we are going to be offering also some parking spots in Phillipsburg, as you say, is a prime location. So right now we can only offer about 5 or 6 parking spaces. And
those persons making use of the space would have to pay.
And that money, that's how we get funding.
Okay.
And in addition to that, from that, but the discussion we're having with some of the persons that have approached us, it's from Monday to Friday, 7 to 7 in the morning to 7 p.m.
But that wouldn't require someone.
No, they will get their own remote. We will check on it every now and then. They will have their number, and we are not allowing them to park on Saturday and Sunday. And this goes to my fellow organizations and to us. If you want to have a function on a Saturday, the yard is available for you to rent. You want to do something on a Sunday, because there were times when we had some churches needing a meeting.
Yeah, that's one of the things too as well,
Yes.
that some people who, for the lack of information, thinks it's a church.
No, it's not. It's just like anywhere. It's just like any other rental
Community
facility, community center. But if you want to have, and this is a situation I've had with some of the churches, it's like they would like to rent it every Sunday. We told them we cannot guarantee you that, because, as I said, it's a benevolent organization. We have set programs, like the January 28th, we had one on October 1st, we have the anniversary that comes up on the 1st of August, and then you have members that may have something they want to do. So if I give you every Sunday...
Can't commit yourself to every Sunday.
Yeah, if I can't commit to every Sunday, but if you tell me, okay, I would like to do something in March, and all the Sundays in March up to now is open, we can do that.
Yes.
Because it's a membership association and it's a community association. So, and sometimes people say, yeah, but y'all losing money. It's not about losing money. If Wendell is a member, Wendell tell me he has to celebrate his anniversary, he should be able to use the hall. I can't tell Wendell, listen, you can't use it because somebody's doing something there on Sunday. So I hope that message is clear. And
should be clear now.
Going back to that, people got to understand, you got to look out for you. You can't leave people trample on who you are. You know, and I was having a conversation with a gentleman about the parking, and the person is saying, yeah, but suppose I want to park some in the night. I said, no, we don't have parking in the night. I want this to clear. No parking in the night, 7 to 7. And why 7 to 7? If the PMIA have a function, it could start 7:30. If somebody wants to have a dinner with their family, if they want to have a baby shower,
and they want to use the hall,
want to use it, they should be able to use the spots in the yard. And again, it's discipline and knowing who you are and what you stand for.
So, with that said, what do you want the public to think of the PMIA, whether it's when they drive by, walk by, or actually pay attention to the location? What do you want the public to think of PMIA?
I would like them to know that the PMIA firstly is founded on honored principles and values. For the young people out there, we used to rent it to them, and unfortunately they can have programs during the day,
Yes.
but this maybe we could call us old school or whatever, but we don't allow alcohol in the hall.
Okay.
If you have a function in the yard and but no alcohol in the hall. Even in the yard, we still look at it skeptically. We are based on principle that insist on total inclusion of persons.
A certain sector of social gathering.
Yes, we come with leadership trainings, literacy development, youth and adult functions, lectures, arts and craft, games. You remember when my brother Derek was here? He had a chess
tournament.
Not only the tournament, they used to go and do chess classes. So I have been reaching out to some persons for us to start the chess games again, and also to do personal enrichment programs, because I always, when we do look at a lecture, you see people really hungry to be part of a social function. And some people say, yeah, but no, it's good to have people come out and feel like they're part of the island. And one of the things LB Scott had was, in order for you to be part of the PMIA, you do have to be legally registered on the island. To you become a member, you have to have your legal residence.
Back in the day, you used to have the issue?
But it was then, I assume, because that was one of the things in the bylaws.
Oh.
Yeah. So because at the end of the
someone considered outsider couldn't be a part of the PMIA.
It's not that you couldn't be a part, but remember, they were there to represent their members too.
Yeah.
You know, so they wasn't getting in no law things and legal things, etc. So those are questionnaires you get, and you really have to show that you really care about St.Maarten.
Okay.
This month I heard an interview with the SHTA, or if not a SHTA, with the tourism
office.
bureau. Yeah, and I like what they're doing, but now they need to start really looking at things like the organization like the PMIA. Because now that we've put the fencing outside, you see people actually looking up at the sign where they just used to pass straight and catch the bus. So we are working, and we really are going to be approaching persons. If anybody listening to this and they want to contact me, you can contact me on 587-0857. That's the PMIA number. So 587-0857. Or if you pass in front of the PMIA, we have an event board, and we now have an email address too. PMIA.
The event board is stipulating what will happen when.
What kind of activities you can
have
approach us for.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss when you contact us on email. PMIA.
Lecture, debate or something like that.
Anything, debates. We've had panel discussions.
Yeah, panel discussions.
All of those things. We hold the hall hold about almost 100 people. It used to hold more, but now it's kind of partitioned off, which I like, because now when you open the door, you're not right away in
the building.
So 80 to 90 persons. So lectures, panel discussions, family gatherings, school activities. We are getting a lot of calls now. The CPS uses it for information sessions. As long as you are comfortable, as you said, we may not have a large parking area, but I was laughing. I was telling somebody, if you go to New York, you go to Atlanta, you go to Miami,
downtown, those
you go
places,
Curaçao,
no
you
parking.
go the Netherlands, you have to park somewhere and walk it.
Yeah.
I just hope that we will start getting more light in back street.
Yeah.
If that could be worked on, if people will feel more safe, because you travel now in 2 or 3s. You don't travel by yourself just like that.
Hardly ever.
Yes.
All right, so they can get in touch with you or the board anyone, you have a PR person too, right? Who would handle?
Well, right now I am president and PR, and I hope in the course of the year that I can get some interesting persons to join us, in committees. Because to go on a board right away, you have to understand the organization.
Yeah.
And we are not
And its objectives.
We are not getting younger. And when you give people power, you never know where that can take you. And I would hope.
I asked you to outline what you want people to think when they see it, because there are those persons who might be thinking differently.
Yeah.
Like, it's not for sale. No.
No, it's not for sale. Do I have to stick that up too?
Not really. The point is, because everyone looks at the advantage that they can have if they have to establish business or an extension of their business. And again, we talk of the prime location that that building is in. I'm happy that such is reserved for such, because I'm thinking of a panel discussion of which we're going to invite as much persons as possible to discuss, and it can serve more like an educational opportunity as well.
Yeah, it falls under the educational programs that we were doing, and
it's a prime location.
It's a prime location
that you can have that.
And again, you can't help what people think. And again, I don't criticize anybody because I don't know what your situation is. But at the end of the day, whatever organization or association or group or club that you join, you can't go in there with your ideas how you want things to change. You have to treat it with respect.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you buy into what it stands for. That's why you see, don't leave just anybody go on the radio or on the TV to talk about something if they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know what the PMIA is, it's even on you could Google it.
Oh.
There is also a Facebook page for the PMIA. Learn some information about it, and we are not competing. I want to say this to my other NGOs. Whether you have a building or not, I believe over the last years, from the 1990s, St.Maarten have really, really improved in terms of offering services to the people of St.Maarten. It ain't not one different, and I'm just saying, let's come together. We maybe can't do everything together. We don't want to claim nothing you have. We are one of the oldest organizations, just like the library. And I'm saying, let's work together. Let's move forward and utilize the building. We make a schema and we work from that, because it's our building.
Yeah. I might add that I feel that it's a nice gesture to know that something has been reserved that has been existent for all these years, and not everything been taken over by the economic activity and the boom that we have been enjoying. I think of even the Catholic Church. Remember, the rectory used to be on Back Street, which was
the
like
library too. Yeah. The library too was on Back Street behind the.
Yes, and all of those they like have gone. Well, the library, we had a replacement for the library.
Yeah.
We had a new location.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, we don't just scrap everything and turn everything into business. That has been reserved for that.
It's so
and we
sad.
need to look at more leisure areas that we can, because that is also part of the commitment that we should have to our community for their complete development.
Yes. A young
What
man
are we
was
doing
asking
for
me-
leisure in particular, like a place reserved for a park or for, everything doesn't have to be business.
Yeah.
And if you didn't,
mindset.
if your grandfather probably, if what he did wasn't saying something to those who survived his passing, so that it can be reserved for that, or the organization standing on certain principle, that might have been gone too.
That's true. But at the end of the day, you too have to have values, morals, and
Yeah.
standards. And if something isn't yours, you can't sell it.
I have to say a big thumbs up for people like he's your uncle, right?
Oh, Mr.
That-
Hughes?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, we have the sports auditorium now, but before what we had was a spot
space.
there, open space with nicely fenced in that we used to play. They used to play basketball.
Yeah. And
But-
he fought for it. He did have a good job. So
Yeah,
I
and-
give him kudos for that. And
I think it's the location right where the community center is right now on Longwall Road.
yeah, the LB Scott Sports Auditorium,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But I mean the location where the youngsters used to play ball.
And they still do is right.
Well, no, the location is used up now by the what do you call it now? Where we go to vote? What do you call it?
Rifle?
No, where we go to vote. Number one, the number one district. You just
I
can't
don't
bring it.
vote in town, so I lose it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
I vote in town, so that's why. Anyhow, folks, get in touch with
I-
Glenda if you have any further. Is there anything you'd like to leave finally with
Yeah,
us?
I would just like once more to thank PJ2. They are one of our major supporters because Mr. Hughes is part of it, and I really want to thank my board members, Don Hughes, Adachia Scott, Rufina Delane, and Anne Lucinda May, for hanging in there with me. 'Cause it's not easy. It's not easy to give your time. And as long as I have the time and I'm breathing, good health and good strength, I have made a commitment to work towards offering my island an opportunity to grow, self-development, and self-enrichment. And the PMIA is ready. So call and let's pass in Backstreet. You'll see our email address, you'll see our phone number, and any activity you need to have, just send it via the email and we would work it out.
That center on the Longwall Road is not John Lamini Center, is it?
Yeah, that's John Lamley Center. Yes.
How can I forget?
Oh, that's where they
Anyway,
used to play the ball?
that all that area, most of that
Oh,
area.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right
where
next
the
to the
open space was
Right next to
until
the,
they built the auditorium right next door.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's it for today. Call Glenda or the PMIA number by 587-0857, 587-0857 if you're interested in anything that you might have heard and want to be involved one way or the next, or maybe you want to make use of the room for
Yes.
something that I'm sure they would allow. Just get in touch and support what they're doing there.
Can I say this? We also have a office space in the back that is available for renting for small office for young entrepreneurs.
Oh, okay. Well, for more information, please give the institution a call and you'll get all the information that you need to have. That's going to be it for today, Wednesday. And just a reminder that I'm here again this afternoon at 5. For those of you who usually follow the 5 o'clock show in the afternoon with the Interactive Talk, I'll be here with an interesting guest. You want to be a part of it. And then I'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Thank you so much, Glenda.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for today.
And
You
Joanne.
Yeah, Joanne is across the room. All right, take it away, Joanne.